Hey there! If it is Tuesday, it must be time for your brand tip of the week. Hey, I'm Danielle M. Miller, brand strategist for service-based entrepreneurs such as coaches, authors, speakers, consultants, freelancers, therapists, healers, and transformational leaders. And I am also the creator of The School of Branding, author of the book Smarty Pants Branding, and co-founder of Her Influential Brand. And I am delighted that you are here today if you're catching this live or on the replay. And if you get some value from this, I would love it if you would send your friends over to like this page, or feel free to share this video today. So, as you know, I always want to share something really valuable with you. And one of the topics that I have been seeing coming up over and over again this time of the year is about creating an opt-in. Now, it's funny because Jen Krigo, my partner in Her Influential Brand, and I are running these brand intensive sessions right now. And the ones we've done, we have noticed that there is a little bit of an issue going on with the opt-in problem. So I'm a little bit hyper. I've had a lot of caffeine today. I'm very caffeinated today. I'm not sure why. It could be because of the snow outside my window on the first day of spring. I don't know. But anyway, so let's talk about opt-ins. Now, there is many differing opinions on the value of having a website, of having a Facebook group, of creating your business on social media, all different kinds of perspectives, right? And so you have to look at what's right for your particular business and what you want to accomplish. So if you're here today, you're going to get my opinion, my recommendations based on my experience, based on my clients' experiences on what works. So, you can watch this and then you'll see somebody else will tell you something completely different. But, you have to take everything with your filter and apply it to what you want to get out of your business and your brand and the work that you do in the world. So I just went off on a tangent there. Sorry about that. Let's get back to opt-ins. Now, Jen and I were working with a client last week, and I was working with another client privately, and we on both of the websites there was no opt-in form, meaning there was no way for people to start building relationships with the potential clients, with their tribe, with their community. Now, yes, you can build relationships through social media. That's the whole point of social media, right? But all of those social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of those platforms could go away tomorrow. Something horrendous could happen, and excuse me. And all of those platforms could disappear. Your Facebook group could be gone. Your Facebook business page could be gone. Your Facebook personal page could be gone. The relationships that you've built on social media could be gone. Your email list you always have. You own your website. You own the list that you are building through your opt-in. So an opt-in is simply a way for people to stay connected to you. And one of the biggest things that I see that happens is people create opt-ins that are not the right fit for their potential clients. And this is actually going to be a two-part series. I'm going to talk more about this next week as well. I'm going to give you some ideas for great opt-ins, what makes a great opt-in, some of the elements of that. For today, I want to focus on why you need one on your website, what the purpose is of it, and how it should be structured. Where does it go on your website? So the first thing that you want to think about is, what is the goal of this particular opt-in? What do you want this opt-in to accomplish? Obviously, you want to build your email list. Obviously, you want to start pre-qualifying people for the offers and services that you have. But more than that, You also want to figure out, how can I give people a quick win? That's really the goal of a good opt-in. You're taking one particular challenge or problem that you see happening over and over again for people, and you are providing a solution to that problem. You're giving them something that they can use right away in order to make some progress in their own goals and what they want to accomplish. So, for example, one of the things that I often see around brands, personal brands and service-based brands for entrepreneurs, is that people tend to focus on the branding before they get clear on the brand. They tend to have too many things going on in terms of what their branding is about. So there are some specific problems, challenges that I see happening over and over again. So an opt-in that I created was the 5 biggest mistakes, branding mistakes you're making in your coaching business and how to fix them, right? Because you always want to try to provide the solution. People may not, you're pointing out the mistake, but then you also want to say, okay, here's how you fix this. Here's how you can go about correcting this problem. And it's been a good opt-in for me. You also want to think about the value that you're providing in the opt-in itself. You know, what do you want people to get out of it? What is the essential information that you want people to come away with in this opt-in that leads into the next step with you, right? So you always want to think of everything as a progression of steps, from when a client, potential client, first comes into your orbit until the end of the process of working with you, because ultimately that's the goal. You want them to work with you in some capacity. So think of your opt-in as this very first step that this person is taking with you. They're saying, oh, okay, I think I like what this person has to say. I'm going to give, they're exchanging their email address for something that you're going to give them a value. This is another mistake that I see, is when I go to a website and people say, oh, sign up for my newsletter and you'll get periodic updates on what's happening and things that are going on. That's not an effective opt-in anymore. People are way too inundated with things going on in their inbox. We are living in this digital age of overwhelm, information overwhelm. And the last thing that you want to do is contribute to that. So you always want to think about providing value. So when you think about developing a core opt-in, you want to think about, what's the value that you can provide to people? How can you give them a quick, easy win right away? So when your information lands in their inbox, they can immediately access it, they can immediately digest it, and they can immediately implement it. That's one of the key characteristics of a good opt-in, is that it's information that can be implemented immediately. Again, that quick win is so important. Also, you want to think about, when a potential client lands on your website, what's the first thing that you want them to do? The first call to action should be giving you their email address to get the information that you have for them. That's not always the case. It's not always, the opt-in is maybe not always on the homepage. Maybe it's a link to setting up a discovery call. Maybe it's a link to your blog, where then you have the call to action as an opt-in. But you always want to make sure that the next step for your potential clients is clearly laid out for them. So if you don't have an opt-in on your homepage, but you have something, maybe perhaps you're leading them to your latest blog post, and they click on that, and then from there should be an opportunity to take the next step with you. So many times we drop the ball on telling people what we want them to do next. Here's the next step I want you to take. Here's what you can do now. Here's how I can provide value to you after this particular step. So you want to make sure that your opt-in is in a strategic place in the brand experience that you provide for your community, for your tribe. Maybe it is on your homepage. That's typically where it goes, above the fold at the top, so it's right there. Oftentimes, this is another problem that I see, is that The opt-in is way, way down on the page, and people have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Hey, get my 7-day plan of paleo eating. I've already now looked at all this other information, and maybe you've got your blog posts up here, and maybe you're telling me about, to schedule a call with you, and here's this opt-in tucked at the bottom. You're asking for the date before you've gotten to know the person. So always know exactly what it is that the next step is for that person. And typically it's the opt-in. It is this exchange of information. You give me your email address. Hey, I will send you something of high value, something that you can use immediately to get you where you want to go with whatever your area of expertise is and whatever the goals are for your tribe or your community. So you want to think about that as well. But that opt-in is solid gold, because now you have people that are interested in what you have to offer. They have given you permission to talk to them about your services, about your offers, about your expertise, about giving them tools in order for them to move forward. So they are already pre-qualified. They have pre-qualified themselves into your community. So that's another reason why an opt-in is so, so very important, because these people now are already interested. They have some awareness of the problem that's going on that you may be able to solve for them. There's these levels of awareness that our clients go through. And typically when they opt in for what you have to offer, there's an awareness going on. They may not be ready to solve it yet, but they have an awareness that there's a challenge or a problem that is related to what they're struggling with, and that you may be able to offer them the solution to that. But you want to also make sure that you're providing value to them first. Yes, here's why you should trust me. Here's something of value for you, something that I have experience on, something that has been successful for other people. I want you to have this. Take it and run. So that's why an opt-in is so important. It pre-qualifies people, shows that they're interested in your expertise and what you have to offer. It gives them a quick win. They say they'll get something really, really great, and they'll say, oh my gosh, if this is good, this is so good. Imagine what it's like to work with this person. That's why you often hear people say, well, give your best stuff away. Well, in an opt-in, you want to make sure it's very much on target, and offering a win to one particular problem or challenge that your people have. But the idea is that they're like, whoa, this is so good. I would love to work with this person further. So that's number 2. Number 3, social media platforms can go away. You'll always have that email list, that way of communicating with people, unless of course they opt out or unsubscribe at some point in time, which that's all good too, right? But you have a way to continue the conversation with them. You don't always have that on social media. Social media can be very fickle, and again, groups can be shut down, Facebook pages can be shut down, Twitter accounts can be shut down, for any number of reasons. But you always have that community that you're building through email, through that communication channel. So that's really why it's so, so very important that you have a way to start to develop that KLT, that know, like, and trust factor with potential clients. Even if they never become a client of yours, they're in your community, they're part of your tribe, they recognize that you provide value to them, and they're happy to recommend you possibly to somebody else. Referrals are everything. This is how you create raving brand ambassadors for the work that you do and for your service-based business. So that's why you need an opt-in. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about the key elements of a good high converting opt-in, some examples of things that are working, some things that may be on the way out. There are trends in terms, with everything, and there are some trends with opt-ins that you might want to be aware of as you're considering maybe developing a new opt-in. We'll talk about how do you know what's a good opt-in for your particular tribe, for your people, and how to construct it so that you get more of the right people into your orbit. So, all right, that's been your Tuesday brand tip of the week. If you are interested in scheduling a March Madness brand intensive session with Her Influential Brand, you want to go to herinfluentialbrand.com/brand. Jen and I have a few openings left for March. We have been having a great time with clients who have taken advantage of this. If you simply put the code March Madness in the area that comes up when you book your session, you'll get that session for 50% off. So we only have a few of those left, so you want to take advantage of that soon. You'd be amazed at what we can accomplish in a 2-hour period for your business and your brand. So this is Danielle Miller. I'm looking forward to talking with you next week. We'll continue the conversation on developing your core opt-in so that you have a wildly profitable and irresistible brand. See you next week. Bye.